Hi friends, I'm Jaina from Pennsylvania. Please like and subscribe. I grew up happy. My dad worked in marketing and my mom was a teacher. We had a beautiful big home, white picket fence, even a dog named Biscuit. Every birthday I got a huge party, and every summer we stayed at a house by the lake. My friends and I spent every moment together. Everything was wonderful. Then my dad lost his job. Suddenly, everything in my life became horrible. We had to sell our beautiful house, and I said goodbye to all my childhood friends since we moved to a completely different state. Our new place was a tiny little apartment. On the first day there, I saw rats. They didn't allow animals either, so we had to give Biscuit to a friend. Dad had to take on 2 jobs, and my parents began to fight all the time. I went from being happy in every part of my life to just wanting to be someone else. Without my friends or parents around, I turned to basically just watching TV. Everyone there seemed to have the perfect life. Beautiful apartments, sparkly dresses, fun parties, and friends. They also had something else in common. They all moved to New York to start a new life of glitz and glamour. Maybe if I went to New York, I could be someone totally new too. As soon as I turned 15, I started working at the local ice cream shop. I saved every single penny, smiling even as the rudest people came into the store. This strawberry ice cream is too pink. My kid dropped his ice cream. We want a new one. This is melting. I want my money back. It didn't matter what they said to me. All I cared about was saving for my new life. Slowly, my savings started to add up. By the time I turned 16, I had enough for a weekend in New York. I knew I couldn't have a whole new life yet, but for now, a weekend would be enough. I finally told my parents on the morning of my birthday. I'm going to New York for the weekend. New York? That's so expensive. We can't pay for that, honey. I saved up from the ice cream shop. Okay, but call us every day, okay? Yeah, sure, whatever. They dropped me off at the train station, and I was off. I was so excited to finally be on my own, and knew that at least for the weekend, I could be whoever I wanted. New York was so exciting. I could go wherever and do whatever. I tried on dresses at a fancy department store. I bought a hot dog from someone off the street, then got sick an hour later. But it was okay. I was living my dream. Finally, I went to the hotel I booked. I dreamed of gold chandeliers and well-dressed doormen and expensive steak dinners the whole train ride here. Instead, I got this. The hotel was tiny, dirty. Flies buzzed in the lobby. I didn't even have my own room. It was filled with other people, and I just had a single bed. I think there's been a mistake. Nope, this is what you booked. Welcome to New York. This was not what I imagined my New York trip would be like, but it was all I could afford. Even in my dream city, I was still the same person and my life hadn't changed at all. Suddenly, New York didn't seem that great. It was smelly and dirty, and there were way too many people. Hey, watch where you're going. Who are you looking at? Nothing, Hey! Someone bumped right into me and I nearly fell over. As I stood up, I realized he had stolen my wallet. I ran after the thief, but after a few minutes, he was gone. Now I didn't have anything. It was all too much. People were so mean. I started to cry in the middle of the street, and people began staring and pointing. It was so incredibly embarrassing. Finally, I decided to just go into the nearest building to get away from everything. Wow. This was the hotel of my dreams. Big, beautiful chandeliers, doormen in fancy suits, rich women drinking champagne and dressed in sparkling gowns. This is who I wanted to be. I was so enchanted by everything that I ran headfirst into someone. Ow! Elena. Huh? That wasn't my name. This man must have confused me with someone. Where have you been? You can't just run off without telling someone. Who even are you? I'm Stefan. Your parents sent me to make sure you stayed safe. You have to tell me when you leave the hotel. Come, let's go back to your room. My room? The one with the bed surrounded by other strangers and mice? It was the last place I wanted to be other than home. I almost ran. Then I noticed that Stefan wasn't taking me out of the building at all. Instead, he was taking me further into the hotel. I was shocked as I stepped into an elevator completely made of gold. It whisked us away so high and so fast, I almost got sick. It felt like we were flying. The elevator doors opened directly to a hotel room. No, not a hotel room, a penthouse. This is my room? I know, it's not big enough, but you have to deal with it for now. And again, if you want to leave, you just have to ask. Your dad just wants to make sure you're okay. Not big enough? This place was a palace. Stefan left, and I had the whole room to myself. The bathroom was all marble with a built-in hot tub. The TV was huge, bigger than I was, and there were so many chandeliers, I lost count. Even the bed was luxurious, so tall and soft I could barely even climb on. Who the heck had such a nice hotel room? I knew I should have told him he had the wrong person, that I wasn't Elena and I didn't belong here. But then again, this was exactly what I had dreamed of. My stomach started growling, and I decided I would have to figure all that out later, after some free food. I raided the mini fridge in the room, snacking on soda and chips. I even ordered room service. By the time I was done, I was almost gonna fall over. Life had never been this good. My phone rang and I saw it was my parents. All I could think about was the fighting and the rats and losing our sweet biscuit. I hung up on them and decided I couldn't go back there, ever. I would stay in New York and start my life now, even if I had to take over this Elena girl's life to do it. I looked around and found her diary and laptop. I opened the laptop and, is that me? Suddenly, I realized who she was. Elena, a famous actress. My friends used to joke that she was my alter ego. Jaina and Elena sounded similar after all, except while Elena was living a perfect life, I was stuck with nothing at all. Elena would probably be back soon. If they caught me in the room, I would get in huge trouble. I had to get out of here before I was arrested or kicked out. But maybe I could go with a little something extra since my wallet was stolen after all. After changing into Elena's clothes, I told Stefan I was going shopping. He insisted on coming with me. When we got to the store, I said, I forgot my card. He just sighed and handed me the money, no questions asked. It was more cash than I had ever seen in my life. With this kind of money, I didn't have to go back to Pennsylvania at all. I grabbed a bunch of clothes and told him I was gonna try them on, but as soon as I was out of view, I made a run for it. Maybe New York hadn't been that great at first, but things were gonna be different now. Or so I thought. I hadn't even walked more than a few blocks when I realized I had forgotten my phone. But that was the least of my problems because suddenly, someone grabbed me from behind and everything turned dark. I woke up a few hours later, feeling dizzy and confused. Where am I? You! Hey, you! I looked around and saw a girl staring at me from across the room, but she was in total dark so I couldn't see her. What are you doing here? I don't even know where here is. I don't even know who you are. Well, I've been kidnapped. It happens a lot, to people like me. What I don't understand is why you're here. I've never been kidnapped with other people before. Oh my god, does that mean I'm not special? She stepped into the light and I realized, Elena? That's me. Now, who in the world are you? I'm Jaina. Jaina. You seem familiar, but I don't remember meeting you at a party or a ball. We look a bit alike. As if I could never have such ratty, dull hair. Or put together an outfit that horrible. Horrible? It's your jacket. Oh my god, it is. You're stealing from me? What? No, well, kind of. Are you working with the kidnappers? No, Stefan thought it was you. Ugh, I can't believe he mistook you for me. That's so gross. I was starting to get mad. This girl was so rude. We have bigger problems here. Maybe you get kidnapped a lot, but I definitely don't. I'm gonna get out of here, with or without you. Now, are you gonna help me or not? Elena stared at me for a long moment. Fine, but only so I can yell at Stefan. The two of us sat down and hatched a plan. The kidnappers come to check on us every few hours. They have to unlock the door, which means we can escape. How about I pretend to be hurt so they have to come all the way in? Then you can knock them out. I'm the actress. You knock them out. Fine, okay, then what? We have to tell someone where we are. How the heck are we gonna do that? We gotta steal a phone. Suddenly, our planning was interrupted by something outside the basement. We eavesdropped through the door. What are they saying? They don't know which one of us is actually famous. That's why they kidnapped us both. We only have a little time then. Once they figure out which one of us is the real Elena, who knows what they'll do? Probably wonder how they could possibly have been so dumb to think someone like you could be someone like me. That kinda hurts, Oh, sorry. I'm not very good with people. They usually just want my money or a picture with me. No one really talks to me except bodyguards. That sounds terrible. I'm sorry. I gave Elena a big hug and she began to tear up. I actually liked things better when we didn't have money. Really? Yeah, my dad doesn't care about me anymore. That's why I keep letting myself get kidnapped. All my dad does is work and fight with my mom. I don't think it's the same. They care about you, right? Right. My dad doesn't even remember my birthday. Elena looked very sad. I felt guilty about not answering my parents' call earlier that day. I knew Elena would do anything to have her dad call her. Suddenly, we heard footsteps in the hallway. Quick, the plan! I hid behind the door while Elena retreated to a far corner. She started crying and pretending that she was hurt. It felt like it was straight out of a movie. One kidnapper entered the room and looked concerned. As he walked towards Elena, I used the chair and hit him. He was knocked right out. I rummaged through his jacket until I found his phone. Got it! We dialed 911. Then quietly, Elena and I tiptoed up the stairs and out of the basement. We took off our shoes to be extra quiet and snuck past one of the kidnappers snoring on the couch. We were almost out the door when someone suddenly shouted, "Hey, they're getting away!" One of them ran and blocked off our exit and reached out to grab us. Elena and I ran in opposite directions. We ran into the dining room. I started throwing everything I could find. A fork, a napkin, a frying pan. Throw your shoes! These are designer! You matter more than your shoes! I grabbed a plate from the dining table and chucked it at the kidnapper. It shattered against his head and took him down. Go, go, go! Elena sprinted to the door. To freedom! Yes! Not so fast, girlie. The last kidnapper grabbed me by the arm, yanking me away before I could make it out. That hurts! You're coming with me. I'll get that ransom if it's the last thing I do. Jana! Elena was standing in the doorway, frozen in fear. Why hadn't she left yet? Go! I won't leave you! Suddenly, the front door came down entirely. Give us our daughter back. Dad! Mom! I was so relieved to see them. I almost started crying. Behind them, I could hear the sirens. The police were on their way. The kidnapper's grip on my arm tightened. Where's our money? Your money? How about our daughter? You're not getting her back without it. Ow! Elena grabbed me and dragged me away from the kidnapper. Come on, Jana, let's go! You threw the shoes! Of course I did! You matter way more than shoes! Police, hands up! And just like that, the police came and arrested all of the kidnappers. They told us that they would be going away for a very, very long time. My parents wouldn't let me go, constantly hugging me and making sure I was okay. How did you know I was kidnapped? You left your phone at the hotel. Stefan called us when the kidnappers demanded they pay up for both girls, and we realized that they had you too. We should have never let you go into the city alone. I didn't think you cared. We love you so much, Jana. Maybe we're not the best at showing it, but at the end of the day, you're our daughter. We might not have a lot of money, but we would give anything for you. I love you too. Let's go home. I smiled at my parents, but I noticed that Elena started to look really sad. Her parents hadn't come at all. It was only Stefan. Are you gonna be okay? I'll be fine. I just wished my family cared as much as yours did. You know, friends can be family too. We smiled at each other, and I reached out and squeezed Elena's hand. Come visit me in Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania? I would love that.